Society continues to find ways to improve the way we live, and with the help of science, this is constantly being achieved. I'm Maya, and I'm going to enlighten you on a recent news article I've read describing a new invention. Earlier this year in January, engineers from Caltech University and ETH University developed an artificial skin capable of detecting temperature changes with the greatest accuracy ever achieved. They developed a transparent and flexible layer of pectin, water, and gelatin, which could be as thin as 20 micrometers, equivalent to the diameter of a human hair. Normally, the skin can detect temperature changes smaller than 0.01 degrees Celsius, and earlier artificial skins could only detect changes tenfold greater than this. However, this new pectin film can detect temperature changes closely to that of normal skin, and can detect heat from a meter away. It also has a greater temperature range of around 5 to 50 degrees Celsius, making it useful for biomedical applications. So first of all, how does the body detect this temperature change naturally? There are billions of neurons within the human body that detect stimuli from the environment and provide the perfect response in order to counteract this change to equilibrium or homeostasis. Beneath the skin, there are thermoreceptors that are sensory neurons, and they are able to pick up temperature changes from the external environment. Elevated or lowered temperatures depolarize nerve cells, and this conducts an electrical impulse through the neurons in the peripheral nervous system, and this is sent to the integrating center in the brain, the hypothalamus, and this is where the temperature change is processed and an appropriate response is coordinated. From here, electrical impulses travel through effector neurons to the effector organ, and this is the structure that carries out the response. In cold weather, the muscles could be ordered to contract in order to generate heat, which causes shivering, or the veins beneath the skin could constrict in order to minimize the heat that dissipates from blood flow. In warmer weathers, the sweat glands could open and secrete sweat in order to cool the skin, or the veins could dilate and become closer to the surface of the skin and increase heat loss. Now, how does this artificial skin detect these temperature changes? The material that the engineers found that produced an electrical response to temperature change was pectin, which is a polysaccharide found in the cell wall of plants. It has a weakly bonded double-stranded structure, which is held together by calcium ions. As the temperature increases, these bonds break, the strands separate, and the calcium ions are free to flow within the film. The increase in concentration and mobility of these calcium ions in the film decrease its electrical resistance, which is inversely proportional to current. So this current that flows through the film can then be measured by a multimeter connected to the film by electrodes that are embedded in the film. If this film were to be implanted in the skin, the electrodes are able to produce the electrical impulse that travels through neurons to the brain to detect the temperature change. Now, what other biological system has this sort of sensing mechanism? Pit viper snakes. The pit viper has pit organs below the nostrils that has a temperature-sensitive membrane connected to nerve branches. And these membranes have receptors on its surface that act as cation-specific ion channels. When the temperature around the snake increases, these ion channels open and there's an influx of calcium ions into the nerve cell. And the influx of calcium ions depolarizes the nerve cell, triggering an electrical impulse, which is then sent to the brain as explained before. And snakes ultimately detect this heat as infrared radiation. The pectin film has a wide range of applications. It could be used in patches for wound healing in burn victims and accident victims whose skin receptors are damaged beyond repair. It could be also grafted onto prosthetic limbs to restore an amputee's ability to sense temperature. It could be also applied to first aid bandages to alert health professionals of an increase in temperature in wounds, which is a sign of infection. So this new finding opens many doors in order to restore such a vital mechanism in the human body. With further research, this could be used abundantly by health professionals and improve the lives of many. Thank you for listening.